So has anybody noticed the way that professional golfers seem to be drawing funny lines on their driver face recently? Yes? No? Maybe? Let's find out exactly what's going on. Using the driver is less lofted. It's the most least lofted club that you're ever going to use unless you're going to hit your putter off the tee peg. And what happens when the clubs are less lofted is club face control is even more important. So if you collide with the ball and the club face is aiming towards the right, the ball will start towards the right. If it is aiming towards the left, it will start towards the left. So controlling club face with driver is so important. You would sort of think to yourself, oh, surely professional golfers don't struggle with controlling the club face and where it is when you hit the ball. But when you think about it in reality, of course they do. See, when you're swinging the driver, it's the longest club, it's the lightest club, it's the club that's designed to go the furthest. So you're going to swing it quicker. And therefore what's going to be happening is in the latter part of the swing, or if you like, the sort of impact area between when the club is parallel to parallel or hip height to hip height, what's going to happen is there's going to be quite a lot of arm rotation to get that club face square. So what can they do to enhance their chances of squaring the club face? Well, actually, what's happened here is this little latest drawing lines on the driver face phenomenon has really been more created through Rickie Fowler. Now, Rickie Fowler has been with Cobra for a very long time, and one of Cobra's latest driver designs is quite a sort of black matted head. And what Rickie was suggesting was that when he was using a driver of say 9-10 degrees of loft, he was really struggling when he looked down at the driver to see the club face. As opposed to when we look at a lot of other brands, although lots of them tend to go for the appealing black top finish, they tend to have slight different colour configuration to the face, or they tend to have lines and different patterns. And obviously this does give you a little bit of confidence. When you look down at a driver and if it looks like it's got zero loft, it's not necessarily the most appealing thing. So what Rickie did is he drew the lines on the driver face so that he felt like he could see more of the actual face itself, which therefore gave him more confidence and more control over the club face itself. However, is this something that you should or could be doing? And I would say very much yes. Let me explain. When it comes to performance in golf, that doesn't mean swing changes, that just generally means performance. Aiming small lends itself to better performance. And this isn't just golf, this is like sport related in general. Focusing your attention on something much smaller makes actually the performance side of it much easier. So good examples of this would be putting. Putting to a tee peg instead of the hole means when you go to play, the hole seems bigger. And you can do the same thing with the club face as well. By drawing a line through the center of the club face would get you to focus your attention a lot more on that little area of that club face trying to collide with the ball. And one way that you can take this even a step further is to align the actual ball itself to the club face. And again, what you're then doing is you're focusing on really concentrating on the center of the club face and how that is performing throughout the golf swing. And what you'll find, and I've done this with students that I've worked with online, that I'm trying to get them to become more aware of their quality of contact. Quite often I do one of two drills. One of them is the line drill. The line drill is where I get students to concentrate on where the club is striking the ground. This seems quite fundamentally very obvious, but it's amazing how much better people move and actually get better results by just concentrating on where the club head is hitting the ground. So rather than allowing the club to strike in the centre of the stance, I'm trying to get them to strike it opposite the lead ankle. And the same can be said, therefore, with the club face. Drawing a line through the centre of your club face and maybe getting a bit of a demo line, something you can practice with down the range, could actually improve the quality of your ball striking quite dramatically. 100% worth thinking about next time you go and practice.